have no idea what I'm whistling, just FYI. Hello, everyone. It is Briximus Prime back for another live stream unboxing. Bert. And, yeah, I don't really have much to talk about for today besides, the package that I need to open. And yes, it's a package from GameStop. And obviously, because I just have the one package, I don't really have too much to say. And also, this isn't going to be that long of a live stream either, so it's not going to take very long either. But hey, welcome to anybody who is viewing, either as this is live or after it's live. Doesn't matter. Just thanks for watching. And yeah, let's just go over at least one of the things I did want to talk about. Besides the package, the other thing I wanted to talk about is next week in Sandy, Utah. Firewall. There's going to be a Lego convention going on here in Utah, over in Sandy, and it's one of the few conventions that are here in Utah, but it's one of the biggest conventions in Utah. It's the big Lego convention, and it's going to be next week on the 26th and the 27th. I'll be there from the 25th, 26th, and 27th because the 25th is open to the people who are going in to set up their, to go in and set up all of the Lego builds and the mocks and everything. And I'm one of the people who's going to be competing in the competition. So wish me luck. And I'm going to do a short vlog while I'm there, and I'll have the vlog go up on the Lego channel. It'll go up on the Lego channel because I really need to get more content on that Lego channel. But anyway, I've been wanting to do more Lego content, and I'll definitely do more when it comes up. But anyway, I'm going to have the Lego convention kind of be my motivation to put a little more work into the Lego channels, but that'll come later. For right now, for this week, I'm going to focus on all the action figure reviews. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, to answer your question, Firewall, I have not glued the Master Dominus rib cage. I've not done any maintenance or any kind of modification yet to either of the fossilizers because honestly, I really need a break from them and I really don't want to touch them again right now. If I'm being completely honest, I just don't want to bother with those two right now. So I've already gotten started on my next review. Because it didn't take very long to get it all filmed and everything. I just have to go in and edit everything, and it'll be uploaded by tomorrow. Maybe even later. Tomorrow. It'll be up tomorrow. I'm going to be uploading, and I have been working on the my next Warhammer review. I'm going to be reviewing the McFarlane Toys Warhammer 40K Orc Mega Knob. This big ol' figure right here, this big ol' Orc Mega Knob figure is my next review. And I just need to go in and edit the video, but this is him. He's this big, chunky Orc figure, so be sure to anticipate that next review. And then after that guy, I've got a big Transformers review planned for after the Warhammer review, which I'll get to recording that either later today or tomorrow while that other video is going up. So I'm going to be doing review stuff back to back this week. I'm really trying to see if I can grind out a lot of reviews this week. Don't really got much else to really talk about, honestly. That's really it to my whole to the whole thing. Kind of wish the fossilizers had locking points in the pegs, kind of like the locking point on Marvel Legends hands. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Marauder when? I don't know. I'll do the Marauder when I feel like it. Jeez. But yeah, I'll definitely do the review on the Marauder because I do want to get more Doom reviews out there because I do love playing Doom. I would definitely like to still get more of my opinion out on the game. It's just I'm gonna get around to the Marauder eventually. I'm staring at him right now on the shelf. Yeah, I'll definitely get around to reviewing him. I don't really got much to talk about, honestly. Like I'm trying to pattern out the length of the live stream, but we're only at 5 minutes, and I still don't have much to talk about. Actually, while we're at it, since we were on the topic of the Lego convention, let me at least show you some of my history with this convention. So, if none of you are familiar that much with the Lego community too much, or at least the Lego convention community, every time they've made it a tradition now. Every time you go to a Lego convention, they have a brick, and printed on the brick is the name of the convention you attended. And the more that you attend, you can build up your own. You can build up what's called a brick badge, where it's basically just a giant stack of bricks with a that basically shows a list of all the stuff that you've done at the conventions. So to give an example here, here's what my brick badge looks like. My brick badge here just has a bunch of the bricks printed, all going all the way up of which ones I have attended and like different kinds of events and like special stuff that I did during all these years of Brick Slopes. As you can see, that's what the convention's called. It's called Brick Slopes. That's the name of the Lego convention. The first one I ever attended is down here. It's at 2017. Then I attended the one in 2018. And then we had one in 2019. That one was really fun because it was Star Wars themed. And then obviously 2020 never happened, but the guy who runs the convention, he personally himself went to every single person who signed up for the 2020 Brick Slopes, and he went and gave everyone the swag bag and the bricks. And he went and gave everyone the bricks anyway. So I have the 2020 Brick Slopes brick right here, even though the convention didn't happen that year. And then I have the most recent one from last year, the Brick Slopes 2021. And then I'm looking forward to now putting 2022 right there on the top. And then I've got a couple of other bricks in between here, just from other events that I did, like the 20 years of Lego Star Wars, Lego Galaxy of Good, Building to Cure 2019, Lego Star Wars fans, and then like the networking event one. Then I got one here that says Keel Hall Cancer. That was a charity thing they were doing for like cancer research and all that. And so that's what that brick represents. Like there's just a bunch of these. And then I have the little Brick Slopes logo down here, brick built right there on the side. That's what the Brick Slopes logo looks like. So funny enough, I'm actually wearing one of my old Brick Slopes t-shirts actually right now. This is one of my old Brick Slopes t-shirts. You can tell because it's been worn quite a bit, but there it is. It says Brick Slopes right there on the side. This was the Brick Slopes t-shirt from 2018. This was the shirt from 2018 Brick Slopes, my second year at Brick Slopes. So I've had this shirt for quite a while. Let's see, that's 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, 5 years. The shirt's 5 years old, basically. Literally, at this point in time, it's 5 years old. Have you seen the newish pictures of SS the Fallen? Yes, he looks like a pretzel. And yeah, he looks the way how those images look. He looks like a pretzel. But it does make me excited for Studio Series The Fallen. I really, really want a Fallen so badly. You have no idea. Burp again. But yeah. So one of the models that I build every single year for Brick Slopes is. So there's so many categories. There's so many different categories and areas you can compete. Here, actually, while I'm at it, let me see if I can share my screen here and show you a bit of the Brick Slopes website here. Here, let me see if I can share my screen so I can show you a little bit of it. Share screen. I've not done the share screen thing all that often, so hopefully it's okay. Let's share this screen right here. Can you guys see that? You should still be able to see me, but you should be able to see that. This is the Brick Slopes website right here. Yeah, there we go. I'm looking at it from my phone here. I can see the live, so I can make sure that you guys can still see me too. But that's what it looks like. That's the Brick Slopes. See, it's on the 26th and the 27th of 2022. It's at the Public Expo in Sandy, Utah. Brick Slopes 2022. This was one of the models from last year. Here's some of the sponsors. Obviously, this sponsor's logo looks very familiar to some of you. But as you can see, there is quite a bit here about Brick Slopes. We've done like custom minifigures and just like so much fun. I go to this convention every single year. Like I really enjoy it. Let me show the schedule of events. So here's all of the events that are going to be happening on the day of everything that's going to be happening on the day of the convention. So on Thursday here is for the people who are, competing, the people who are actually competing in the competition. There's this purple area is to represent that there's that's the setup time where everyone's setting up, getting everything done, and it's really cool. First timer introduction. There's the seed part challenge, which is really cool. It's a seed part is a game where basically here, let me give an example. So you have to build a model where I say like, oh, you have to build anything you want, but you have to use this piece. This is your seed part piece you have to use, this Lego heart piece. That means you have to use that Lego heart piece anywhere on the model that you make. And you just use whatever pieces you can. And then you just, try to, just see who's the person that in what model. You have to be as creative as possible and just see which one impresses the judges the most. So that's pretty cool. And then and what's also nice is all the games all have prizes. So at the end of the day on Saturday during the closing ceremonies, which I'll get to the opening ceremonies and closing ceremonies in a second, but during closing ceremonies they'll announce who the winners were of all the games that happened, and they'll have people go in and they'll just always have some kind of Lego set to give to the winner. And it's usually some kind of Lego set that relates to the game, but for Seed Part Challenge, I don't really know what some of the prizes were, but they always have a bunch of free Lego at this convention too. If you're one of the people that signed up to compete, there's a lot of free Lego involved. Because almost depending on the game, every single game you play, they provide you a Lego. If the game requires the building of a Lego set, when they give you the Lego set to compete with, you keep that set. So like, for example, let's use this as an example. Let's say I was given this Lego set here to help me win the speed build challenge, which the speed build is where, you have to be the fastest to build it, and whoever's the fastest wins. They provide the Lego set for me to build, and then I build it. And let's say I didn't win. I was like second or third in order to in the speed build challenge. But everyone who competed, even though you didn't win, you still get to take the Lego set that you competed with you. Like that is, so it almost feels like no one loses. Like everyone gets Lego. Doesn't matter. Like everyone gets free Lego. Doesn't matter. It's just if you win, there's the chance of extra free Lego is the point. And then a couple of the other games that are also really fun. Oh, also on the schedule here, it says draft, $15. Draft means that it's oh, they actually say which Lego set it is this time. Ooh, that's nice. The draft is basically where you pay money to then be participated in the draft. And what the draft does is basically they open up some kind of Lego set, and then everybody gets to basically pick the parts and pieces they want. They draft the set out to everyone to kind of pick all the parts that they want. And then, let's see, Great Ball Contraption. That's what GBC Workshop is. Basically, it's just these guys that make the insane Great Ball contraptions. It's basically just a big mechanical contraption that moves a bunch of little Lego orbs around, and it's like one of the most intense things ever that I've seen them make. And then there's also the Lego Instagram. Never seen that before. Final mock setup, and then the public is open on Friday. There's the blind build. Blind build is where you have to build a Lego set with only seeing the instructions. And what they do is they have the instructions on one side of you, and then the pieces are on the other side of a curtain. You have to build the parts without seeing them. You can only feel them because the curtain's is in your way of seeing it. So that's kind of the point of the blind build. And again, you win the blind build by being the one who finishes the fastest, or at least the one who finishes the most accurately. And then there's also the draft $25, which is a little bit more. And then there's the there's the speed build. The speed build is the speed build is where, like I said, you just have to be the fastest one to build it. Then there's the team speed build, which is where it's a team trying to build a bigger Lego set, and you just have to be the fastest one. Funny enough, last year I actually won the team speed build from last year. That's what this little brick's for. I won team speed build. So it was my first time ever winning any of the games at Brick Slopes. So that was fun. I hope I'm able to find the team that I worked with last year. They were a lot of fun. And then there's a bunch of panels here about like a bunch of the people that are going to be coming. There's a couple of Lego Masters from the Lego Masters TV show that's going to be showing up. And then there's a couple of other guys like Lego designers and people show up. And then there's the keynote. And then there's the dark hours show off your builds lighting. That's where they're going to turn off all the lights in the gym, and like they'll turn on all the sets that have lights on them. Like that's always fun. And then there's Lego Poker, where basically Lego Poker is where you play poker, but it's with Lego bricks instead of poker chips. Then there's the team blind build. That game is where one person is on one side of the curtain and the other person's on the other side. One person builds the pieces, the other person has the instructions, and you have to instruct each other on building the set. And again, have to be the fastest one. 101 bricks. That game is where you get 101 pieces. They give you a challenge, and you just have to build whatever you can from the 101 bricks to meet the challenge. So like, for example, it could be like the challenge is build an amusement park ride. And so now you have to make some kind of amusement park ride out of those 101 bricks. It can be really creative. It could be really stupid. It could be just whatever impresses the judge the most. Draft 25 looks like it's for some kind of Monkey Kid set this year. Looks like there's a Lego Master panel again, a Lego Mom Life, some kind of panel right there. And then Lego on a Budget. That's another one. There's a lot of good panels this year. Then there's another draft. And then there's the Dirty Brickster, which I'm planning on doing this year. Last year and the year before I didn't do it, but I'm going to do it this year. The Dirty Brickster is basically like White Elephant, only it's just with Lego. It's just that's all it really is. It's just White Elephant, but you bring Lego. So everyone brings a Lego set, and then it swaps all over the place, and then you just see what you get. You could get something super awesome, something super random, something you already have, or whatever. Just it's fun. It's fun. It's all good fun. And then closing ceremonies, and just it's all fun and games. Like I really love this thing. I love this convention, and they always have a ton of awesome stuff going on. And this year's theme, if you couldn't tell, it's this year's theme is Halloween, like the haunted, like Halloween-esque kind of is this year's theme. But anyway, that is really it for the Brick Slopes convention. I don't really have much else to share, but that's basically what it is. That's basically all you do at the convention. It's pretty fun. But from where I'm from, I don't get any sort of conventions or events, so I hope you get to have fun. I always have fun. I always have fun every year. Again, I'll do vlogs and I'll do videos of me there on the Lego channel. And hey, I got to use the Brick Slopes thing as an excuse to patent up the length of this live stream. Also, I'll get to building this at some point. But yeah, I'll definitely build that at some point. But yeah, let's now open the box. I've been making you guys wait forever already. Some of you guys probably don't even like Lego, and you're listening to me rant on about this Lego thing that you probably don't even care about. And besides, this thing's not that impressive. This isn't that impressive of a package. I mean, it's just a Star Wars The Black Series figure I've been wanting, and it's not anything too super glamorous, at least I'd say. There's the return label. I am not going to need that. Ooh, heck yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, yes. I have been wanting this guy. This is the Star Wars The Black Series Gaming Greats Republic Commando Sev. Sev was one of the best characters out of the Republic Commando game. Actually, here on the back of the box, it says, let me make sure you guys can actually see him. It says, Star Wars Republic Commando follows Delta Squad on missions throughout the Clone Wars with Delta 07 Sev as the squad's sniper. So yeah, this guy is basically Delta Squad's equivalent to Crosshair from the Bad Batch. I love his color scheme. I love his colors, and he's just one of the coolest characters from the game, especially his voice. He has a really cool voice, though I would have preferred for it to have been Tamora Morrison to voice him, but they still chose a cool voice for Sev. That's all right. I like it when people talk so passionately about the stuff that they like. Yeah, and this is also some of the stuff that I like is action figures and Transformers, which, by the way, I did a small toy hunt today. Like, I did a little bit of filming while I was out, but I found a couple more of the Velocitron figures, but sadly, I found literally every single Velocitron figure except Cosmos. Screw that. Freaking hate how I cannot find a single effing Cosmos. This is a cool gun. I'm like ranting on about complaining about a toy I can't find, and now I'm not fully appreciating the one that I just barely opened out of the mail. I'm an absolute ungrateful person. Ooh, yes. 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 Megatron does not yield. He conquers. Yes. If you guys want to hear some more voice impressions, just throw out a request in the chat. Like, I've got a lot of them. Megatron's the one that I practice a lot. Yes. Yes. The Maximals will lose the Beast Wars. Yes. What's another one I can do? I can do Tarantulas from Beast Wars. Hello. Watch out, Cheetor. The spiders can be venomous. I've got a lot of these. I've got a bunch of Megatrons and Starscreams. Oh, one Starscream that a lot of people seem to like and get impressed with is the... I can do the Siege Starscream voice impression where he's like, the surrender stations are that way. Unless you'd prefer we surrender you here. Always, I loved that line. Like, Starscream, like, totally laid it out on him. Like, you guys absolutely suck. Come on, Sev, grab the gun. There we go. So, yeah, Sev's got his sniper rifle. Yeah, Sev has, like, one of the coolest voices in the game. Best Beast Wars Inferno impression. Haven't done Inferno in a little while, but I do have one. Burn, Maximals, burn! Burn in the flames of Inferno! Or one of my favorite lines from Inferno is where he's like, where Black Arachnia asks him, So Bug, are you ready to rock and roll? I don't rock and roll. I burn. Yes, my queen.
I'd really wish he'd stop calling me that.
Yeah, there's a lot of great lines from Inferno.
Defend the colony!
He's got a lot of good ones. He's like just full of one-liners.
We will burn the Maximals.
I can't really do his laugh, though. That laugh that Inferno does, I can't do that, though. Oh, I can do,
Dinobot, maximize!
There's the knife. And there's your boy. There is Sev right there. That's a good-looking clone trooper. Good-looking commando. I'm so happy I got Sev. Sev's like my favorite one from the game. Need to get the rest of Delta Squad. I've got half of them now. I have Boss. I have Commando Boss. I'm now only missing Fixer, and then we just got Sev, and then Hasbro still hasn't announced him yet, but they've already announced the 3 members. We have Boss, we have Fixer on the way, and then we have this guy, and then we're also supposed to get Scorch. Scorch is the explosives expert. Boss is the leader. This guy is the sniper. Fixer is the tech savvy guy, and then Scorch is the explosives expert.
When expecting booby traps, send the boob in first.
Oh yeah, that's right. I can do a quick strike. Quick strike's one of the easiest ones to do.
Yeah, doggy! Don't mind getting up, Maximal. I'll just catch you while you're down.
You just do a cowboy accent when you do it. That's all you do for quick strike, and then you just kind of throw in Transformers banter in there, like,
man, I gotta get me some Energon. That stuff tastes good.
That's all you have to do to do quick strike. What's another good one that I've done from Beast Wars? I swear I had another good Beast Wars one. Who was it? I can't remember, but Beast Wars had a lot of great dialogue. That was the thing that drove Beast Wars. Even though the animation was a little subpar, what drove the show was its story and the dialogue and the characterization of the characters. Just all of that, everything about the show was awesome except the animation. The animation was awesome for the time, but nowadays it looks very unfinished. There's a lot of unfinished episodes to shows that look like Beast Wars. But yeah, it would be so cool. I wouldn't be opposed to them going in and remaking the entire show, but reanimating the whole thing into modern animation. That would be so awesome if they would redo the whole thing into redid all the animation as to what it would look like if they did it nowadays, but everything else is the same. Just update the animation, and then you could introduce an entire new generation to Beast Wars just using the original show. That would be awesome if they did that. It'd be cool if they did that for G1 too. If they reanimated all of G1 and then they just redid all of G1, but then redone it, but reanimated it in modern 2D animation. But then part of me is also the classic is already pretty good. It's just Beast Wars that'd be really cool if they finished it. That'd be nice. But again, that's just my personal preference. I mean, I'm able to watch Beast Wars without minding the animation. I managed to watch it just fine. I don't have any problems with it. But it would look cool, though. It would look pretty cool if they finished it. Oh, yeah. That was the thing I was going to talk about. For Brick Slopes, what I'm going to bring to Brick Slopes. That's what... what am I bringing to compete with? What am I even bringing? I have a couple of things. So one, first of all, I'm bringing one of my best things that I'm able to build is I have a knack for steampunk. You know, like clockwork, wooden and bronze stuff that's like giant mech suits, or like, you know, like steampunk, like guys wearing like all the steampunk stuff, like goggles and top hats or whatever, like steampunk. Like that's kind of my forte. I'm pretty good at building a lot of things, but for some reason I have a knack for steampunk. Beast Wars animation wasn't subpar. It was quite revolutionary for the time, and it costed millions of dollars. It costed millions of dollars to make. Yes, it did. But nowadays, it's probably would be a lot easier to animate it a little bit more. Because again, Beast Wars was one of, if not the first CG animated TV show where everything was CG animated. There were some shows that came out at the time that incorporated some CG animation into their 2D, but like where it was all entirely 3D, it was Beast Wars that was the first completely CG show. Or like one of the first. I can't remember. It's just like the year it came out, I think there was like one or two others that came out that same year as Beast Wars. I just can't remember if there was one that came out before or after. I can't remember. I just know Beast Wars was like one of the first like shows ever. Anyway, back to the Brick Slopes. This year, I'm bringing a giant mechanical steampunk shark. I brought it last year, but it didn't win anything. It did get a honorable mention, but it didn't win anything. Which means I'm allowed to bring it back again. Because you're not allowed to bring back a model if it didn't win. Because if you bring back another model from a previous year, you're only bringing it to show it off, to basically be like, hey, here's one that previously won before. Where instead, for the other ones, it's like, oh, here's one that I just did, you know, like where if you bring ones that didn't win, then it's actually competing. But if it already won before, then it can't compete again. Unless you take it to some other convention that's not Brick Slopes, but that's not the point. But anyway, I'm bringing the steampunk shark that didn't win. And then I made a post about it on my Instagram last year, back when I actually had my old channel. But anyway, you can go and look at that if you want to. I might repost it. I might take a new picture when I go to Brick Slopes this year. And then the new steampunk model that I'm making is a giant steampunk mech. And it's like covered in like battle armor that's made out of like walls of a castle. So it's a cool concept. And then I'm also going to be bringing a steampunk. I'm also going to be bringing not a steampunk. Me and my friend are trying to put together. We're still in the middle of trying to get it finished before next week, but it's a ghost ship. It's a haunted ghost ship. For that's one of the things we're also trying to make. And then this is a side thing. If I end up getting everything else done before and I have extra time before the convention, I wanted to bring some extra small things, like just some little things to bring as like little extra stuff. I'm thinking about maybe making some Lego Warhammer Space Marines. Like Lego Warhammer Space Marines. That sounded like something that I'm like, that'd be cool. That would be really cool to bring. Didn't help how Beast Wars was one of the first CG animated shows. By today's standards, Beast Wars looks like something anybody could make in Blender, but it was still good for the time. Well, yeah, it was good for the time, especially with just the story. Like, it wasn't just the quality of the animation at the time, but it was also like the quality of the story for Beast Wars, because I still could say with the utmost confidence that the story holds up. Like, nothing feels dated, nothing feels like it's out of place. Like, the story, I feel like, even works for nowadays. Like, I genuinely think Beast Wars still has some of the best writing to it. The only other shows I've ever thought about that come to mind that come close to that kind of writing is like Transformers Prime and Animated. Like, those are the ones that come close to Beast Wars. But Prime obviously is on a different level. But And then Transformers Animated is a completely different animated show and has completely different characters. But hey, David Kay's still in it, though. Which, by the way, speaking of animated, I was thinking about animated recently. I think Transformers Animated has one of my favorite Megatron voices that's not Frank Welker. The animated Megatron is like one of the coolest voices ever. I like, if they had to pick a Megatron voice that wasn't Frank Welker to play Megatron in Rise of the Beasts or play Megatron in anything, I say either the guy from Animated or the guy from Siege, the Siege War for Cybertron trilogy. Those are my favorite Megatron voices besides Frank Welker. And then Peter Cullen, I still don't really have an idea of who to replace Peter Cullen with, like just off the top of my head. The only person I feel comfortable with letting play Optimus besides Peter Cullen is Gary Chalk, and he hasn't played Optimus in a while. Gary Chalk would be a nice replacement for Optimus because he's played not just Optimus Primal, but he actually has played Optimus Prime before, specifically throughout the Unicron trilogy. So if I had to pick somebody to not have Peter Cullen play Optimus, it'd be Gary Chalk. But yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents to that whole situation. The animated Megatron has like one of the best alt modes, one of the best voices, and just in general, one of the best he's one of my favorite Megatrons ever. Like animated Megatron. I love animated Megatron. This camera is slightly not angled right. What the heck? There we go. For some reason, it was like slowly leaning backwards. I don't know if you could see it, but it was like slightly leaning. I was like, what the heck is that? Anyway, managed to fix it. There we go. But yeah, that is basically it for the live stream unboxing. I mentioned about the LEGO convention coming up, and then I got the Star Wars The Black Series Gaming Greats Sev from Republic Commando. And then I'm going to try to get all my new reviews out this week, starting with that Orc from Warhammer. And then... And yeah, you guys already heard about it throughout the live stream. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I don't really have much else to talk about. Thank you all for watching. This has been Briximus Prime. And yeah, unless anyone has some last minute comments to make before I end off the video, I don't really got anything to talk about. But yeah, that's really it for this live stream unboxing. I don't got anything else to add. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Expect to